What's up, Stripe Nation? Blake Albertson here with B&B Lawn Care. I've gotten some comments from the past videos where we're out working with the 30-inch EFI Cub Cadet snowblower. So let's go over a few things and get my final thoughts after using this snowblower all winter long. It's still cold here in Kansas City. We're about 30 days away from springtime. I'm ready for the nice weather. And I've gotten some comments. We're going to specifically be talking about the Cub Cadet 30-inch EFI snowblower. So I've made a couple videos on it. We've used it all winter long. And just to start off, yes, Cub Cadet did sponsor the snowblower and the content. So I wanted to get that out of the way, but it's not going to change my opinions on the snowblower. Time will tell with any piece of equipment like this, especially around here. I mean, this has actually been a really, really good snow year for us. But again, we've only had, I think, 4 events, maybe 5 events. Some have been pretty good, 9 to 10 inches in some areas. Some drifts were like a foot, 2 feet tall, like crazy. And I did test that in the last video. You guys can go check that out. I think it was like a month ago or something. Just search in, or I'll link them down below or something like that. It really did a good job in that tough snow, in that tall snow. It says, I have this little sheet here just because I wanted to read off some of these bullet points. 18 to 23 inches. It says ideal for 18 to 23 inches of snowfall. That's pretty awesome. Like, I know, we watch Brian's Lawn Maintenance, right? Up in Michigan. They get a ton of snow, or like Stan and Brian Ring in Minnesota. These guys, these areas get a ton of snow. So I think this would be perfect if you guys are doing sidewalks, driveways, even on the commercial side. If, a plow truck doesn't get up in the walkways by a building or into a grocery store or a bank or the sidewalks. I mean, we've had properties that had sidewalks all throughout. They were a corner property. I mean, actually, I've had a few of them. Corner properties with these giant sidewalks. It would just take forever to shovel, especially with big, heavy snows that we've gotten this year. I mean, typically, I would say the past 5 years, we've gotten, just minimal snow, like 3 to 4 inch snowfalls. This year, it's been well above 6 inches, which is awesome. So I at least got to try out, what this thing can do. Now time will tell over the next few years. Snow equipment's so tough because, during the spring, summer, fall, it sits. So that's just, it's so tough on engines if you don't summarize them. You winterize lawn care equipment, but if you don't do take the proper precautions once you're done with it at the end of winter time, you're going to have a really tough time, trying to get that snowblower to start again when you need it most in the wintertime. And it's normally like, sometimes we're doing leaf cleanups and the next week it's snowfall. So you don't get like an in-between time to make sure everything's perfect and running. But as far as what I can tell with this snowblower, I haven't had anything screaming red flag. I will say the turning takes a little bit of getting used to, just like any new piece of equipment. But I love everything about it once you get used to that turning. It's just different from anything that I've ever used. What do they call that turning? I don't know what they call the turning. I'll try to find it here, but that was the only thing. Also, I actually cut this out of that second video because it made me look silly. But I had a part in there where I'm like, I wish they would change the handle to move the chute to, I think I said like the right side, like above the handle, but I was actually wrong because you put the auger, you engage, the auger, and then you do the self-propel, self-drive, whatever you want to call it. You put that handle down. Now you can take this hand off, and it keeps the handle for the auger down, okay? That way you can change while the snowblower is going. You can move the chute around to change the direction. So there's no reason they need to move it, because it holds, when you're holding both of them down, you can let go and move the auger, which is super smart. I'm glad they thought about it. So I actually, that was an initial thought. I'm like, well, that's a weird place, but you don't need both hands to operate the snowblower. Once you get going, you can let go and then move it. Let's see. I wrote down a couple notes here. Really just questions about how it's been going. I think 30 inches is a great size for a snowblower. Not always is it bigger the better, but like for us doing driveways or sidewalks, that 30 inches just makes things go quicker. Somebody also made a really, really good point, and this is more of just like a philosophy of snowblowers. I had said in a previous video that, for less than 5 inches of snow, a single stage snowblower is probably better than a 2-stage. It's faster, okay? But somebody said something really, really good. With a 2-stage snowblower and that self-propel, you're not getting as fatigued. Yeah, we can go for a couple driveways. We can go fast and knock it out if you have that, small amount of snow. But with a 2-stage like this, with the size of it, you're just eating that snow. That width is so big, you're going to cut down your time, and you're not going to fatigue yourself as much because the snowblower just goes for you. I thought that was a really good point, and something that I kind of may have overlooked, because if you just look at it side by side on a driveway with like a couple inches, you're like, yeah, I could probably get it done faster with a single stage. But for those of us that are doing a ton of them, or if you run into deeper snow, 2-stage, if you can only have one snowblower, if you're only buying one, buy a 2-stage and buy the a big width like this 30-inch. I wanted to touch base. I know this is getting lengthy. I wanted to touch base on the EFI. It's awesome. It's awesome. When I first initially got the unit, it wasn't snowing or anything like that. It's on video. Literally, the first time it ever started, I just went, like, barely, and it just fires right up, okay? Initially, you have to charge it, which is weird, right? But it has as the engine's going, it charges that battery, so it's not like you have to plug it in every night, okay? It's just like maybe at the beginning of winter, maybe at the beginning of winter, you have to plug it in because it hasn't been charging because the engine hasn't been running. But after that, like, you should be good. We haven't ran into any problems. And I mean, it is just the most easy to start machine. I can't wait to see how that goes, over the next couple years, because if it just I thought, hey, I'm worried about when it gets cold. And I got a comment that said, wait till it's the, -3 degrees out. And guess what? It sat on my trailer, outside for a little while. We went, it's freezing cold, middle of a snowstorm, and I went, and it just fired right up. It's really incredible. I don't know if they're making other machines like this or whoever with an EFI, but from what I can tell, it's brilliant. I love it. I was freaked out at first. I'm like, I have to plug in my snowblower. What if I forget, and a snowstorm comes and now I can't use the snowblower? But it's not like that at all. Like I said, it's like a once per year thing if the machine's been sitting for a very long time, like it probably will, from spring, summer until wintertime. So I kind of mentioned that I got gloves on and everything. I mean, the heated handles, maybe for freezing if you're working while it's snowing or sleeting. That way your handles, I think that's probably what it's for, actually, so your handles aren't freezing up and your hands are slipping off of the handles. So I guess it's a really good thing, but don't think that if you have gloves on and things like that, you're going to feel it. It just doesn't work like that. But I'm pretty sure that it would be for that freezing issue. But they do work. I let it run for a couple minutes, when it wasn't snowing and it was nice out. And they did heat up really, really well. Other than that, let me review here, make sure there's nothing else that I'm missing. Any other comments that I've got. This thing's awesome, dude. I guess you can get a little cab. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever used one of these snowblower cabs? I mean, it might look a little silly, but I guess if you're out when it's snowing, like it's better. It keeps you away from the wind. And I have a problem with always getting sick when I go out and it's snowing or sleeting and there's heavy wind. Even with a hat on, dude, it just messes up my head, my sinuses and everything. Let me read off here. This is a 357cc Cub Cadet 4-cycle EFI with IntelliPower technology. After I shot this, I said, it didn't bog down at all when I went through the heavy snow. That is thanks to the IntelliPower. It will actually rev up the engine so you don't slow down when you're walking through heavy snow. It will rev up the engine up to 18% more power when you need it, and then it will rev back down when you're going through lighter snow, which just makes for a very consistent and enjoyable snowblowing experience. Power steering is that trigger controlled. That's what I said. It just takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's really, really cool once you start using it because you just grab the handle and that baby turns. Super cool. I think it's more when you're maneuvering it, like, and you're not out snowblowing. It's a little weird. But like I said, you get used to it and you can, it's really, really cool. If you're running a smaller snowblower, you move up to a 30, you're going to be like, why did I ever have a smaller snowblower? Because you're just getting driveways done that much quicker. I had no problems. Even when I was, going through real deep snow, I had no problems with it bogging down. It never felt like there wasn't enough power, which is basically that and the reliability are the two biggest things for me, and they should be for you. Is this thing going to start? We've all had those problems. Is it going to start when it's 0 degrees out, there's 10 inches of snow, and I have clients that rely on me going there so they can get to work, they can go to the store, whatever, over the next couple days? It's huge. It has to start. There's no room for it to not start. That and the power. That's the only things. And man, with that EFI, the easiest start. They just barely pull. I almost think my kids could do it. I almost think my kids could start it. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys had a good season, a good winter. I know I've been watching on Instagram, man. Tons of people have been getting hit with these big, like, nationwide snowstorms, which is awesome because it's only putting money in our pockets. Over the last couple of winters, man, we've had some long winters where it was just cold. There was no snow. And man, that's tough. It's really tough. We need that snow. I think this was a great winter. I know a lot of buddies of mine and people that I follow have been killing it and making a ton of money. And that's what it's about. Again, thank you so much to Cub Cadet for sponsoring, giving me that snowblower, sponsoring the videos. It's awesome. There was no complaints. I had no complaints. And that's kind of wrapping up. I'm hoping, we don't have any more snow in the forecast here over the next couple weeks, whatever it is, 10 days or whatever. We're moving in to March. That's crazy. We're going to start landscaping here, and shortly after that, mowing. So, yes, I'm not putting the snow equipment away yet, but while this was still fresh in my mind, we've had some good snowstorms with it. I wanted to kind of wrap up and make a final video, my first year using this snowblower. thumbs up, man. Like, that's really it. Sponsored or not, I didn't have anything that was like, man, this isn't a good machine. So I'm super happy with it, and we're ready for springtime. I'm ready for nice weather. It's 3 degrees out today. I'm ready for nice weather. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.